Did you know roughly 99% of Australians don't seem to be French car people? I owned a French car once. It was a Peugeot 307 back in 2006. Now I've got the chance to drive a newer and arguably much funkier looking Peugeot. It's the new 2008. In this review, I'll let you know if the small SUV lived up to my old 307. A quick spoiler, it did. If you want more information, you can head to my written review at the CarsGuide website. This GT mid-spec model sits in the middle of the range. It will cost you just over $43,000, and this one here has about $4,000 worth of additional extras added. It makes it quite pricey for this category. It competes with other small SUVs with semi-premium elements like the Skoda Kamiq and Audi Q2. If you're on a tighter budget, you can get the entry-level Allure grade for just over $39,000. And then there's the GT Sport, which sits at over $51,000. This GT mid-spec model comes with a 10-inch touchscreen with sat-nav, LED headlights, 17-inch alloy wheels and more. But as I mentioned, you have to spend an extra $4,000 if you want the premium pack. That gives you the Napa leather seat trim, electric driver's seat controls and a sunroof. Otherwise, it's manual seats and cloth trim up front. You get a few other features for the hefty price tag, which we'll go into shortly. Plus, the ownership options do help sweeten the deal. But overall, it's still quite pricey for a small SUV. The front of the Peugeot 2008 is quite intense, but the design works really well, from the curves between the top and bottom grilles to the placement of the logo. The LED lighting works really well, the claws look good, and the fog lights have actually been turned into a design feature. Overall, I think it's pretty specky. This paint option is the Fusion Orange, and it's the only one that won't cost you any extra. From the side, these gloss black door mirrors, the diamond-shaped accents and the alloy wheels really give the car its own character. But I do prefer the 18-inch black alloy wheels that come with the GT Sport. You have the Peugeot claw lights here at the back and the black gloss detailing that ties in really well with the curves of the boot. The first thing you notice when you get in the car is the steering wheel is very low. It's kind of in your lap. And even after adjusting both the seat and the steering wheel position, I still have to sit with my leg off to the side to make it work. But I did get used to it. It does feel like the design needs tweaking though. But in saying that, I love the design and functionality of the rest of the interior space, particularly with the additional glass sunroof. The optional leather appointed seats are super comfortable. Plus, I love the positioning of the headrest, and overall they look good. Plus, there's ample space for the driver and the passenger. Everything feels very modern and stylish, like a lot of thought has gone into the positioning of the car's features. Once you figure out your driving position, the rest of the space feels very intuitive. The optional electric controls for the driver's seat are very easy to use, plus it has a massage function. The passenger seat is manual, which isn't quite as effective, and you get heated seats with the upgrade. The 3D cockpit or instrument display is great visually, and I like the different display options, but some of the driving information can be quite hard to find initially. It's basically a button menu with navigation, audio options, climate-controlled air conditioning, and a few other things. The 10-inch media screen is on an angle towards the driver, which is brilliant. I found I could easily see everything I needed while driving. The user interface for the tech could use some work because it's quite fiddly and it's not as intuitive as the rest of the car. The tech links with the Peugeot app, plus you get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth and voice recognition as you'd expect for the price point. There's also lighting accents along the dash, plus a decent sized console and glove box. You get bottle holders in all 4 doors, plus these 2 cup holders and 2 storage areas up front. This top one is a smart charging pad, plus there's both a USB and USB-C point. In the back, there's more than enough space for 2 adults. My dad is 6'3" and he had enough room. There's lights above the doors, 2 USB points, which my nieces loved, but there's no directional air vents, which isn't good for summer. There are 3 ISOFIX points in the back which you can access easily using the zip, plus 2 top tether anchorage points. If you have a rear-facing child seat, there's a decent amount of space for the front passenger, which is rare for this class. I do think you'd struggle to get 3 car seats across here as the space is a bit limited. The boot space is well thought out. It's larger than average for this class, and it has this shelf here that you can pull out to adjust the space or store things. I drove down to the south coast to visit family with a suitcase and a few bags in the boot, and it was fine. But when I just had my sister's pram in here, we didn't have much space left over. The little 1.2 litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine provides a nice smooth drive, and it's a 6-speed auto transmission. The little steering wheel makes it easy to manoeuvre, plus it's nice and predictable, which is what you want. I had no problems with the suspension, it even handled crossing railroad tracks pretty well. The official specs are 6.5 litres per 100 k's on the combined cycle. My usage was 11 litres per 100 kilometres on average during my time with it. The Peugeot 2008 received a 5-star ANCAP rating in 2019, and I really like the 180-degree angle reversing camera the car comes with. You do get AEB with pedestrian detection and blind spot monitoring, which you don't get with the base model. But it's missing rear AEB, rear cross traffic alert and active lane keeping assistance, which does seem weird for this price range. It has 6 airbags, including driver and front passenger, and front and rear curtains. Ownership is a great area for the Peugeot because you get 5 years unlimited kilometre warranty and road assist for the same time. There's a cap price servicing plan for up to 9 years if you have it serviced with Peugeot. It works out at roughly $450 annually for the first 5 years. It needs a check-up every 12 months or 15,000 k's, which isn't a heavy lift. The GT is a great little car with loads of personality. It's surprisingly spacious inside, gives you a decent drive, but it does seem a little bit pricey for what you get. It's great for a small family, but if you have more than one child that needs a car seat, I think A, you'd struggle to fit 2 seats in, and B, you'd have a bit too much junk for your trunk. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10 because it's such a fun car, and once I adapted to the lower steering wheel position, it was a good drive. My niece gave it an 8 out of 10 because she loved the space in the back, the 2 USB points, and she thought it was really comfy. Remember, if you're after more information on the Peugeot range or other family cars, check out the CarsGuide website.